Yeah. It says it's 15 meters ahead of you now.
As you can see, folks, Jose just coming
Let
up
me know if
bottom
you
in
want me to
sight.
come down. Okay. 7.5 meters. Yeah, right where we left it last night. Okay, our separation's 18 meters now. I'll just get your sonar a little better and then I'll come down.
Heading of camera is 360.
Yeah, you're looking north at it, yep. All right, so ROV is on bottom. And I'm pretty much looking right down at you. I'll come down a couple of meters, see if I can get some video of you. Okay, I'm coming down. Come down 3 meters. Okay, I just came down 5 meters. So Nav, I guess you can note that marker 16 is the spire today for our nav reference. Which is the same as yesterday. So should make it easier.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Just as a little background for those that are listening in, this is a very big site.
You feel like you still have too much
Our
tether on,
surveys
pilot?
of the last couple of days suggest that it's at least 100
Oh, do you have
meters
your,
by
yeah,
100
your Z biases
meters,
in?
north to south and east to west, and something like 70 meters high.
Oh yeah,
And that's an awful lot of hydrothermal deposit. And I suspect this has been active in some form, maybe
your
on and
tether's
off,
looking good.
for some considerable time.
Yeah.
Hello Nav, this is Paul. What we want to do is when we've got a good fix and we know we're quite happy exactly where we are in relation to the spire, we want to move off to waypoints 19 and 20, where we found the hydrothermal tube worms yesterday. And so we're going to spend quite a bit of time there, videoing each tube worm, hoping some of them might have shown their heads again. So once you're happy with your nav, we're ready to move off. It'll be to the northwest. Thank you.
Okay, I've come down about 15 meters from the when we first found it. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. See, when I heave down, I get pretty close. That's up. And now down. Yep. Yeah.
For those folks listening at home, you can see there's a massive pile of shrimp to the right hand of the screen that are being moved about by the turbulence of hydrothermal fluid coming out. And then on the bare rock towards the center of the screen, you see more or less individual shrimp just hanging onto the rock. Northeast,
That
yeah.
would, I think it's 1920, but you'd have to ask science on that one. They keep all the notes of what the markers are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I had been noting what's at each one, but Chris had said science would make official descriptions of each waypoint. So no.
Sorry, Nav, yes, it was to the northeast, not to the northwest. Affirmative. What would be interesting to look at to see if we see any different species from what appears to be the most common one. And as you can see the digestive gland or gonads along the back. You can see the dorsal organ. Seems to be quite a different size as those quite a variable population structure. Some very large ones. We'll get the lasers put on in a minute and we get some idea of the size. Can we have the lasers on, please?
Can I do what? Lasers. Lasers are on.
Will do. Very nice. Look, there seems to be some smaller shrimp really deep inside the vent there that look slightly different to the other ones. Maybe it's just my imagination. They look much smaller. Maybe. And I'm not quite sure what the red is down the back. The large Rimicaris don't seem to have that red, and there's a very red patch along the back. I'm just wondering if that is a separate species.
Video, this is Copilot. Okay, I'm pretty stable here, so if you have time, zoom might look good on my camera.
Yeah, that might well be the case, yeah. It could be if they're juveniles, they need to get more energy to grow fast.
I am heaving a lot though.
And therefore they're in the hydrothermal fluid.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
We seem very stable at the moment, video. It'd be really nice to zoom in.
I mean, I'm definitely.
I'm sorry? And the pilot is, oh, great, okay. So go to the pilot, co-pilot and video. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Lasers are off.
If you look very carefully at the dorsal organ as we're looking at them, and the rear part of the dorsal organ, I think you'll see two small holes, which makes it very distinct from the Rimicaris found in the Atlantic. Subtle variation, I know, but it might represent a greater variation. Okay.
Well, make it 20. Yeah. I guess 0.2 has been pretty good. So pretty much, pilot, you'll just drop off into space, I guess, and I'll try to follow you down. So my heading is north now. Yeah.
Aravina, this is Bridge. Go ahead.
We'd like to put in a ship move, please.
All right.
Bearing due east, 20 meters at 0.2 knots.
Roger that. 20 meters, 090 at 0.2 knots. Starting now.
Thank you, Ned. Bridge.
Okay, pilot, my heading is almost northeast now. My heading is now northeast. And I'm looking almost straight down, 82 degrees. I didn't want to start coming down until I knew I was moving because I was right over the spire. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Arovina Bridge.
Go ahead, Bridge.
Yeah, we finished the move.
Thank you very much.
Sure.
Nav, can you tell us what time we dropped marker 20 yesterday, please?
I believe on the left-hand page, Vincent wrote the times down to the right of each. No, I think that's the time. Because all our depths are below 23.
Oh.
Yeah, I think I'm starting to move over the top of you now. I've just pitched my camera down more.
Pardon? Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Pilot, while you're here, I'm going to start coming down just a little bit. Let me swing my head around to the north and see if I see it. Stand by. I'm going to swing around. I think you have enough tether. Oop. Okay, I'm facing about north now. There it is. It's Yeah, it's to the northeast of me now. What's our direction of travel, Nev, from here? Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's to the northwest. So yeah, northeast is good. I'll get my heading around to northeast. You're pretty much below me, pilot. Okay, Sirius heading northeast.
Diva, could you ask Jill if that will be a good small vent to do the flow measurement she wants?
Yeah. Uh,
Aravinov, this is Rich. Go ahead.
Ship move request, please. Bearing 45 degrees, distance of 50 meters, at 0.2 knots.
Copy that. 50 meters, 045 degrees at 0.2 knots.
That's correct.
Starting now.
Thank you, Rich.
thank you, Nev. Mm-hmm. 19 was yesterday, so it should be the same as today, right? That's good. Okay, pilot, my heading is 45 degrees. My altitude shows 30 meters over the bottom.
Paul, are you hearing me?
Hi, Diva. I called you just now. I got no response. Can you hear me now?
Sorry, I can hear you now. Jill says it's not defined enough and a little bit too small, and so not measurable. So maybe we should keep looking.
Okay, that's fine. I'm just asking. No, when we see something like this, so this one would actually be too small.
Yes, that's the case, Paul. Too many shrimp around as well.
Please repeat.
I was just joking, but she said there's too many shrimp around as well.
Oh dear.
Yeah, just as a reference frame, Bobby, that's the view straight down. I think I can give you 5 meters. Alright, I'm going to turn and look upslope for a second. Think you'll stay in camera.
He looks about the same as he did yesterday. I was about to say what I'd really like to do is go in as close as possible and video them right the way down their length, and particularly to see where the posterior end goes. Does it actually go into sediment? Is it attached to rock?
Pilot, I don't think this is the group to stop and look at. I'm looking straight down and we're still moving. You can give it a shot and I can slide past. Oh, if that's all, then you can sit down and try to do this now.
The reason I'd like to video all of these is these sort of tube worms do occur in sediments in the Gulf of Mexico, often buried in the sediment and attached to a small piece of rock underneath the sediment. For it to be a hydrothermal vent tube worm, the ones in the Pacific tend to be attached to rocks on the surface. So if we can see these attached to rocks on the surface, we can really say these are not hot, cold seeps, if you see what I mean, but they are in fact hydrothermal vent tube worms. The V-shaped one seems to be our favourite one at the moment. Yep, there it is. Lovely. Very nice, guys. We're now just moving the ROV so we can put it down and make a very stable platform. And when we have a stable platform, we can get good video of the animals. Oh, he's just going to retract it. If we can get more accurate fixes, yes, let's have new markers, because we might want to come back here. Can we 27, is it? The Nav, I think this may be MCR 027. Please check.
Paul, this is Chris. I have MCR 27 as the next waypoint.
Thanks, Chris. Just thinking out loud, it does look as though the fella's tried to grow upwards and got a bent tube for all his efforts. Just had a message in from Cindy Van Dover at Duke University saying that these tube worms in the Lau Basin can go very deep into the sediment, maybe even as deep as 10 to 12 feet, to extract the sulfide from deep within the sediment. Be really interesting if that was the case here. We're not in a situation where we can find out, but that may well be the case. Scott lobsters. This is very nice. This is just what we want. It's very difficult to see if the end goes into the sediment. Appears to be almost lying on the sediment.
Paul and Chris, in regards to the event log waypoints, if every time y'all drop a waypoint, could you print it out to the event log so we can comment it in? Because the waypoints we've asked for, I'm pretty sure we've put most of our comments in.
This is just lovely, team. Very nice. This is just what we want. The tubes look in good condition. Would it be too much to ask to turn around and look down the tube itself? Yeah. I'm actually joking. Sorry, I'm joking. If you look carefully, I think you can see the obturaculum. That's a sort of the plug in the end. Pilot, we do need to check out the little ones as well. I guess the light's affecting it. Oh. It looks an unbelievably precarious place to live. But it does suggest there's a degree of stability because though they can grow fairly fast, tube worms. We have no idea of the rates of these particular taxa. Sorry, is that addressed to me? Oh, hi. Say again? No, the tube. That's called the tube. Yeah. Thank you. That's very useful. Very useful. It's really difficult to see exactly where the bottom end, if that's a word, distal end of the tube is. But there does seem to be a bulge there. Yeah. But again, the tube looks in very good condition. So it might be like this after death for some considerable time. I have no idea. But
Paul, at the posterior end, it looked like there was a hole in the chitin right up near the rock.
yeah, Chris, that's right. No, Diva picked that out as well. Not quite sure what that is. These things do have an opistosome. So I just wonder if it might be that structure, but it's really difficult to see. That's why I want to look at quite a few of these to see if we can actually figure out what they're doing. I think I see obturaculum there at the head end of the tube. Can you see there? The tube's broken slightly, but the slightly more orange tip material you can see just down, going down inside the tube. And I think that might be the obturaculum, which is the sort of plug that goes in it's the last piece of the body. The next bit is the tentacles, and then the vestimentum. So I think that's the anterior end, you might guess. Yeah. But I also noticed through the distance, I thought there was a bulge at the bottom end of this one as well. Oh, it does seem to go into the sediment there. Oh. It's just fine. Again, the tube looks in good condition. That definitely goes into the sediment, I think. Yeah. But it seems a very precarious anchorage. But it definitely looks as though it goes down between the boulders there, or small stones. That's just great, guys. And can we look at the anterior end again? More difficult to say this time, but that's really nice image. But I think I'm going to have to look at the stills really carefully from this, but that's a great image. No, that's fine, thanks, pilot. Yeah. I appreciate that, guys. Let's just have a quick look at V again, see if he's got his head out. No. But what you can see there is the classic structure of the sort of plug, or the structure called the obturaculum, that closes the tube. And as it comes out, it sort of slightly spreads apart, and then as they retract, it goes in like a big plug. So, yep. Yeah. They can be deeper down, the bugs. Yeah, but just that one's there. That's such a really good. No, if I saw some more like that, I'd be confident. Yep, that's very nice. Can we just take it down to look at those two small ones? The one that looks as though it's tied in a knot, and the one just below it, please. Yep. The track. Yep. Yeah. Could we have some lasers, please? Lasers on. Okay, folks, we're just going to back off a little bit and have a look at the surroundings. We keep nudging boulders downhill, nudging boulders full stop. So we're just going to have a general, get a feel for the geography of the area. Pilot, if you wanted to move off around this area a bit and have a look round, maybe find somewhere that is a little easier to settle down. We've had a good look at the tube worms just here, and I think got some excellent video. And we know at least one is alive and maybe another. and just have a look somewhere else. Might make it easier for parking as well. We're just moving back a bit, and we're going to try and find another area, see if there's any other tube worms. It's been very, very difficult to park the ROV to get stability to take video here. So the guys are just moving the ROV round to check out a few other spots. I see 3 in the screen now. Looks like a shrimp as well, just below the... Looks like it to me as well. That's okay, if we go in at this angle, then we might be able to see the Obturaculum again. Okay, looking right down its throat. That's an Obturaculum. Yep, that's a living one. Oh, fantastic. At least we've got 2, if not 3 now. That makes a reproductive colony. Oh, yeah. Oh, look at that beautiful close-up. Really, really nice, guys. don't like to break this to you, but I'm afraid for the rest of the morning we're going to be looking down the throats of tube worms. Ah, you see some shimmer? Yeah. If we can move in to look at the base to see, that's interesting. That looks as though it's got a damaged tube as well. Yeah. Now, folks, this is very interesting because what I think this might be, in many of these tube worms, the worm doesn't extend the full length of the tube. It does in the cold seep tube worms because they have to absorb the hydrothermal fluid through the body wall in the tube. But the tube worms in the Pacific, sometimes the base of the tube, quite a lot of the base of the tube, is actually empty and can be damaged, as we see there. So that suggests to me that the hydrogen sulfide might be absorbed through the tentacles. Interesting to check out. Oh, we got loads up here as well. There is some bluish looking sediment around here. Just wondering if that's hydrothermal. Yeah.
Yeah, that looks like bluish white discoloration on this screen, Paul. I'm not sure if that's true under that boulder just out of view on the right.
Yeah, there is top right. I definitely see some what looks to me like bluish coloration of the sediment. This looks, and actually looking up towards the left, a lot of hydrothermal deposits, very yellow to me, yellowy orange.
Yeah, the yellowy orange is probably more oxidized than dead, but the blue stuff is the
Okay.
fresh stuff.
Yeah, this looks a good spot. There's one down there to the left that might be easier to find, guys. Oh, I see. Of course it is. Yeah, 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 yeah. We've drifted slightly to the right. Yeah. There was a shrimp wandering round the other one just now. It was like a, Okay. Yeah. That's nice. Healthy looking tube, but he could have pulled down further inside. No, one of the ways of collecting the tube worms in the Pacific is to run the arm of the submersible over the top of the tube worms. They go so far down, then you can pick them up without damaging them. I mean, it might be the case there. But the tubes look healthy. Boy, we are a long way up. I'm pretty sure that one was living though. It looked so you can see the ob tracker even from a distance.
Is that a new live one, dead ahead, or just over to the right? Or have we seen that already?
Yeah, the one that looks like a Cumberland sausage unreeling is looks as though it had its tentacles out. Just to bring you up to date, anyone that's coming in from outside, this is the Ocean Explorer. We're working in the Cayman Islands exclusive economic zone on a hydrothermal vent on an area known as Mount Damon and Mount Dent in the Mid-Cayman Rise. We have the remote operated vehicle, Little Hercules, at 2,300 meters depth, and we're looking at tube worms. What you can see in the screen is the side of a hydrothermal vent with a lot of hydrothermal rubble, and we're just maneuvering the ROV into a position to look carefully at the tube worms. Wow, that's a slab. Hey Chris, I see some blue sediment going across the middle of the bottom of the screen at the moment. Just below that sort of ruggedy cliff. Not sure you can see it, can you? Just going through the center of the screen now.
Yep, I see that. Is there any sign of any shimmering flow or anything there, or just the sediment?
Could we just zoom in on the blue to see if there's any shimmering water for Chris, please? Not convinced, Chris. But to me, it's interesting that the tube worms aren't that far away from it, as they were. The other spot we were looking at seemed to be some blue sediment, and the tube worms were fairly close together. Just below that sort of ruggedy cliff. Not sure you can see it, can you? Just going through the center of the screen now.
Yep, I see that. Is there any sign of any shimmering flow or anything there, or just the sediment?
Could we just zoom in on the blue to see if there's any shimmering water for Chris, please? Not convinced, Chris. But to me, it's interesting that the tube worms aren't that far away from it. Hard to say on this one. Yeah. Yep. I think so. I think that's a positive. I think that's alive. That's great. I'd like to just now. Oh, sorry. I'd now like to look at the other ones up to the left from here before we think about moving on. Yep, both of those are live. Yep, very happy with that. Thank you guys, that's really, really good. I guess all told, 7 or 8 live ones. Very nice. Oh, that's cool. Still quite difficult to see where the distal end goes. Gee. That's fantastic. Almost a furry top to it. You can just see the very red bit of the gill. Just showing up. You can almost see it through the tube. Thank you very much, guys. I think we've got all the information that we want. No, this might not be the East Pacific rise with its density of tube worms, but these certainly seem to be the first ones we found living at hydrothermal vents in the Atlantic and the Caribbean. So we're pretty damn excited about that.
Go ahead.
40 meters, 235 degrees, 0.2 knots.
Okay, 40 meters.
So which target are we going to now?
235 degrees.
The bucket lid?
And 0.2 knots.
Affirmative, thank you.
Starting now.
Now we're moving off upslope to the southwest, and you can see large amount of what looks to me as a biologist hydrothermal rubble, and you can see it's a very steep slope. This obviously had very dramatic action at some time in the past. There must have been landslides, large boulders coming down. Most like doing quite a lot of damage as they came down to anything that got in their path. And we're going to move up to the edifice and see what we can find up there in the way of shrimp. Look at the shrimp, try and look at the sizes of the shrimp, and see if there are different shrimp species. Just see a fish coming into the screen here. Oh, shimmering water. That would be perfect, thank you. Perfect. Thank you. That would be fantastic, thank you. Any chance of a full zoom there? Yeah. No, that's fine, thank you. I just wanted to see the small white dots are small gastropods. I just wanted to confirm that's quite a density of them just there. Oh yeah. That's the word.
Okay, where to next?
Nav-
Do I have the tether? A little closer? Yeah, it can only help.
Go ahead.
10 meters, 300 degrees, 0.1 knots.
10 meters, 300 degrees, 0.1 knots. Starting now.
Thank you.
Okay. So the ship's underway?
I would like the lasers on, please.
Okay, well, I might as well try my first one. If the tether pulls me, it pulls me. Yeah. Okay. So video, I think I'll get to a comfortable distance with my pilot cam and then have you zoom in. I mean, that, that seems pretty good. If you want to do a partial zoom now, video. Okay. Now it will rise. So 2.5 meters. Yeah, I can see it getting darker. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think I need to put my Z bias up a bit. That was too fast. Yeah, or it could have been the thermal. I just rose up the cliff previously with 100% vertical, and okay. Okay, video, partial zoom, please. Yes.
Was that video talking? That's fine. That's very nice.
Okay.
The wall, I think you guys want to get some good video. We can benefit from good video as well of the shrimp populations up Wall Street. I'm really quite keen to actually look at the different vertical faces to look at the proportion of gastropods, proportion of vent shrimp, proportion of non-vent shrimp, and the fish. It's the one with the red coloration and the greenish back.
Okay, we
Yeah.
have a greenish back
Yeah.
right in front
Yeah.
of us. Almost center screen here. Okay, well, we'll see what we can do. We're going to annoy some of his neighbors, but we'll get it done.
For some reason, they always swim back to where there's their energy.
Okay. Rolly, let's get a little slow zoom here and stop there, please. That green fell in the center.
Yeah.
Okay. There's one center screen top there. There you go.
That is really interesting. It's an Okeanos. It looks like Okeanos to me, but I'm
Just
really
track
not
focus.
sure what the
I'll,
green is on the back
I'll try to chase
at
him
all.
here.
Go ahead.
Can we request a ship move at heading 315
meters at 0.2 knots.
Okay, 10 meters, 315 degrees, 0.2 knots.
That is correct, thank you.
Okay, starting it now.
Alright, full wide. Let's hold right there for a while.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah, I am.
Oh, what a great picture. Ah,
Yep.
that has a very distinctive Europods as well, quite different to the other shrimp, the way the shape of them. And it looks like two spines just in front of the Europods. I'm sorry? Yeah.
RV nav, bridge.
Is that okay for you, Jameson?
Bridge, go ahead.
Yeah, the ship's all stopped.
That is beautiful.
Yes, Paul, that's fantastic. Thank you.
That's alright. It's the bird in the hand here. Let's tighten up on him again here. This is a good aspect. Hold that.
Paul?
Lateral view.
Beautiful. Oh.
Paul, this is Jameson. Could I ask you something?
Far away. Ask away.
There's another shrimp similar to the one we're looking at with the green hunchback.
Yeah.
It also has red coloration. It's a little bit more translucent than the surrounding ones, but it has those similar eyes that you can see right now in the frame. But it does not have the green hunchback, and we're wondering if those are different from each other or possibly the same species. So if at all possible, could we get footage of one of those red, more translucent shrimp with those darker, distinct eyes with no green hunchback? Is that possible?
Will do. What I'll do is, now we've got this bit of video, I'll get them to move around gently to see if they can find one without the green back. I can't see one in the screen at the moment. Yeah.
All right.
You beat me to it.
So
Paul, do you have any ink?
let's go wide, Rolly, and see what.
Paul, do you have any
So-
thoughts?
Okay, not it.
Well,
No, I think we might have to move.
no, we'll keep a lookout as we go looking round. As we're going along, we're going to
Oh,
see
there's
some.
one with red.
There's no shortage of them, I don't think.
Oops, getting
Yeah.
close. Hang on.
Yeah, Paul, we agree, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pilot,
that
we-
sounds good, and thanks. That was great footage.
Pilot, we can keep moving, and if we see some, we'll stop and just have a quick look at them. And if
Alright.
it's the sort of thing we want, we'll video it more carefully.
Okay.
This is great stuff.
Yeah, let's go full wide, Rolly. I can work pretty close here.
Paul, do you have any inclination on what you think the green patch is?
Well, it's where the gonads are. But I've never seen green gonads before. I'm not sure I'll be broadcasting.
Could be a
this.
first.
Yeah, could be. Yeah. I'm just wondering if it's, a digestive gland and it's a build-up of maybe copper or something. The digestive gland gives it that colour. But
He's got.
in fact, there's. It does look to me as though the rock underneath the shrimp, when you can see little patches, is a different colour.
Almost looks more black.
Just basically, I was just going to get some close-up video for looking at densities and things like that. But if you guys want to do some of your videoing yourself, please go ahead. I think I might hand over to Chris at 2 o'clock. Yeah. White dots, and they're not just white dots, they're small gastropods, sometimes called, we would know them as snails back at home, and they're only 2, 3, 4 millimeters in diameter, and they're very common on the rocks as well. Occasionally you can see fish swimming round within the shrimp on this spire, but it looks like the sort of snow-covered peaks in the Alps or the Rockies, the number of shrimp and the very high density. As you move away from the spire, the density decreases considerably. That is just stunning. I don't know if you guys on the beach are watching the Sirius video, but it just gives an unbelievable impression of what we call in the spire, or the ginger bucket, or the bucket lid spire. Okay, folks, we're starting to take some good video here. This is going to be pretty spectacular, I think. That is fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. That's, yeah. Thank you very much. Oh, this is starting to look very spectacular, guys. Oh, did you notice all the different shrimp? That is spectacular. Oh, yeah, Jameson, that looks like your shrimp that has got no blue back. Nav, can I have a fix, please? This was MCR30.
Go ahead.
We have a ship move 15 meters bearing south at 0.1 knots, please.
Okay, 15 meters due south, 0.1 knots, starting now.
Thank you.
Just moving in onto the wall. They're trying to maneuver the ship and Sirius at the moment. I'm going to try and get some video of the shrimp, going to see what proportion there is between putative Rimicaris and other species. So we're going in and then it's going to zoom in. We might find the blue backed shrimp without the blue back. Go with the lasers on while we're doing this, please. That's just right.
Nav, bridge.
Go ahead, Bridge.
The ship's all stopped.
Thanks.
This actually is very spectacular coming at this angle as well. Jameson, I think that rather confirms our discussion on the IMS just now. Was that up to 11 degrees Celsius? Thank you. Pilot, could I make a request? Can we? Is it possible to? Oh, is it possible to zoom in a little bit at all? Or? Yes, because it looks like it looks like the shrimp with the blue back without the blue back. But the one to his right doesn't look as though it does. Oh, it does. Those are definitely eggs. Did you see that, guys? What we saw there, those definitely are eggs because they presumably had come from the gonad and have been transferred to the pleopods. Now that's a rare sight to see a shrimp at a vent site that appears to be carrying eggs. I suppose Muracaris has seen that, but that was quite spectacular. He went from the back to onto the pleopods. Yes, what happens is they carry, when the eggs are fertilized, the eggs are extruded onto the pleopods. These are the legs attached to the abdomen, the bit you eat. And then they're carried there as a mass. And that was just a wonderful example to show that they were eggs. It's interesting that this is such a concentration of non-vent shrimp. You know, we see one or two scattered around, and it's as though these are meeting away and then going in and presumably feeding on the other shrimp and then coming out again. I got it. That is wonderful. That is really nice. Can we go up just the merest tints? Oh, there it is, the egg. Oh, lovely. Yes. Can you guys see the eggs on the abdomen there? Huh. You can practically tell they're one-eyed zoea. You can see the black eye, the developing embryo. That is just really, really good. And you can see there's a lot of juveniles or younger ones around as well. There's one just swimming away. They don't tend to have gonads either on them in the body or being carried on the pleopods. Very, very nice, guys. I understand. Thank you. Very, very nice piece of video, though. That very nice. There's definite billowing. Here's seawater. Oh. I suspect a visit of a ROV is infinitely less catastrophic than some of the activities that happen here. But that looks good. It really does look as though that the shrimp keep out of the main hot flow. That is just such an image. That was fantastic. I really enjoyed that. Oh. Okay, folks, we're moving back down to take some more video of the hole. I don't know if you liked the last bit. I thought it was spectacular as they sort of came up, watching the two screens side by side as we moved up the chimney and off into the water column. I just love it. Do it again. Go on. Let's have another one. We've got 20 minutes. Let's have another one. Amazing.
Nav bridge. Move complete.
Hello folks, what we're doing is we're just in the process of trying to get pictures of fish amongst the shrimp now um, for the archive. lovely. Oh, look at this. Oh, look at that. Oh. That was great.
30 meters, 30.
Roger that. 30 meters.
Little Herc
40 meters, 40.
Roger that.
meters, 20.
Roger, 20 meters.
Little Herc, 30 meters, 30.
Roger, thank you.
10 meters.
Roger, 10 meters on Sirius.
Little Herc is on the surface.
Roger that. Can't see it from up here. It's in the sun.
Here comes the shark.
A-frame deck, we're going to try to time this. We're getting a little bit of pitch back here.
Yep.
A-frame, let's go. A-frame, let's go. A-frame deck, just keep it on deck, bring your boom all the way back down, and then we'll slide it forward.
Roger, trying to do that. The pulling it with the tuggers makes it a little harder for me, right?
And let's even out your upper luff. It's got a little bit of, there you go. Okay, when you can.
Rhode Island, this is Chris German on the party line from Okeanos Explorer. Can you hear me?
Yes, Chris, this is OSEC. Go ahead.
Hi, I hear you have some people there had some ideas for tomorrow?